an interesting presentation from a very interesting company. Saudi Aramco always has a way of exciting the business community with its business opportunities that reach every corner of the globe. The next panel is going to be about Saudi investments beyond oil and gas. I'm very happy to introduce my good friend Basel Al-Ghalayini, who's the chairman and the CEO of BMG Financial Group, which is in a very short time has become one of the cornerstones of financial advisory and financial economies in Saudi Arabia. I also like to introduce Engineer Peter Fisdal, Business Development Director from Škoda Transportation, as well as Mr. Jakub Joska, Law Attorney and Managing Partner of K&F Legal. May please I present all of them to the stage. I would like first to begin with Mr. Basel Al-Ghalayini, Chairman and CEO of BMG Financial Group, to take us to the opportunities that exist in the Saudi capital markets.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أطيب الأنبياء والمرسلين. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I remember when I was maybe 5 years old, I used to go with my parents to the local grocery market in Riyadh to buy some dairy products, and the only one that distinguished at that time was the Czech cheese, and I still remember that with fond memories. But more than that, I would like to state a fact that 20 years ago, there was a conference about Korean investments in Saudi Arabia. At that time, Korea was not at all an active partner of Saudi government, and now it's one of the most important trading partner. And I would like to congratulate my good friend Hussein for this initiative, and I hope we will see Saudi Czech Republic to be one of the most active partners in the future. My talk will be more to do with the new laws that have been introduced in Saudi Arabia to encourage foreign investment, especially in the stock market. But before that, let me give you an idea about what I do at BMG Financial Group. I wear two hats. I encourage Saudi investors to invest in key markets in Europe, in the Middle East, by having them basically invest in real estate and other industrial joint ventures. At the same time, I help international companies to invest in Saudi Arabia by first identifying a good partner, equity partner, as well as finding the right, financing package from the local banks. So I'm here basically to introduce the latest laws related to the stock market. At the same time, giving you some features and profiles of the investment climate in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, we all know that Saudi Arabia has been very much relying on the oil as the major source of revenue in the country. But the last 3 or 4 development plans, there were more encouragement to encourage the private sector to be the driving force in the country. And we heard about the economic cities that have been driven mainly by the private sector. Saudi Arabia became the member of the World Organization in 2005, becoming the largest recipient of foreign direct investment in the Gulf and the Middle East. The stock market became literally a gold mine for certain international investors, being obviously investing in one of the wealthiest nations in the world. Let me now read out a few clauses from the foreign investment law for the stock market. Before that, let me see some hands. How many of you are in the financial sector or financial services sector or related to the financial services? How many? All right, I think, Hussein, we should do another conference for financial services, please. Well, Article 6 of the Capital Market Authority draft rules provides that an applicant must be a foreign legal person, that is either a bank, a brokerage or securities firm, a fund manager, or an insurance company. And this is basically, let me give you a background of this. The stock market hasn't been, professionally traded yet, because we have daily traders, we have manipulators, we have, those who abuse the system in Saudi Arabia. So by inviting international financial institutions, the government is trying to stabilize the market, as well as having your companies in this wonderful country to benefit from the major companies that are basically listed in the market, like SABIC, like some sectors in the telecom sectors. Banking system is very, very strong, and we'll talk about the largest IPO in the market later on. So it is the it's the largest stock market in the country. Actually, the Saudi stock market is larger than the entire Middle Eastern stock markets combined. So just to give you an idea about how big it is. So these are some of the rules that are in the drafting regulations that will be implemented early next year. Maybe we'll not go into it, in details. My presentation will be available for you if you want to read it later on. I'm just aware of Hussein will be coming to ask me to stop talking in a few minutes. The foreign investment in stock markets issued by all Saudi companies listed on the Tadawul not to exceed 10% of the market value of such stocks. The maximum proportion of the issued share of any particular issuer whose shares are listed that may be owned by the qualified foreign investor is 20%. Investments of qualified foreign investors will be subject to other legislative limitations on foreign ownership in joint stock companies and limitations in the bylaws of the institutions issued by the supervisory or regulatory authorities. Obviously, there are certain reserved lists for foreign investors who cannot basically invest or they cannot participate in Saudi Arabia for certain national security reasons. We heard earlier on the tax law, but what I can say here that according to the Saudi income tax law, Article 10, capital gains realized from disposal of securities listed on the Tadawul is exempted from income tax. It is yet to be determined whether the tax law basically will extend the said exemption to apply to capital gain realized by the qualified foreign investors. What makes Saudi Arabia the perfect destination for investment opportunities? Well, inflation rate is quite low. It's now, last year, 3.5%. As you know, Saudi Riyal is pegged to the dollar, so more or less it is linked with the biggest economy in the world, so no worries about the foreign exchange. Also, there are strong economic, and the environment is quite ideal for foreign investors. Saudi Arabia has been ranked number 5th in the world for fiscal freedom, according to the World Economic Forum. It's the 5th most rewarding tax system. Also, it is member of the G20 and one of the world's most fastest growing countries, according to the World Economic, according to the IMF. I think it is expected to be 4.2 in 2015. It is strong economy and perfect investment environment. Again, the exchange rate is quite attractive. The value of the Tadawul, which is the stock market, has been increased by 34% this year. The sovereign rating for the country has been upgraded to AA from AA minus. It is the largest market in the MENA region, represents 25% of the Arab GDP, Arab countries' GDP. It has the 25% of the world's oil reserves, 22nd out of the 185 countries from the overall ease of doing business globally, and it is the first for ease of registering property. Recently, I bought a piece of land in Riyadh, and it really took me 15 minutes to finish the entire transaction. Now it is becoming very automated and quite, impressed to see that. The list goes on the advantages and benefits of investing in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, my presentation is more driven on the financial sector. I have here some slides related to the largest IPO in Saudi Arabia, which is the National Commercial Bank IPO that was done last week. And it is, let me just read it. They wanted to raise $22 billion, which is $6 billion. And instead, they raised $83 billion, just to show you the amount of liquidity that is available in the market. And maybe if we identify certain opportunities in this beautiful country, maybe some of these billions will come to your country, and we can basically encourage more inward investments into this country. Hussein, I know you want me out of here, but anyway, I'm available during the breaks and tonight, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Bassel, very much for at least enticing the appetite of the investors or the potential investors from the Czech Republic to the Saudi capital market, the promising one indeed. Our second speaker for this panel is Mr. Engineer Peter Vesdal from Škoda Transportation.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm very glad that I have opportunity to speak here. We have heard a lot of information before about the growth of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and I would like to state that this growth is linked also with development in infrastructure project, and we can see in Saudi Arabia some of the biggest transportation project or infrastructure transportation project in this region. I speak about high-speed project and about metro projects in the main or the biggest Saudi Arabian cities. And my role here now is just to inform you about the potential of Škoda Transportation to participate in test projects and to present you very shortly our company. So the company has history more than 160 years. You can see that it has been founded in 1859, and from 1869 it became owned by Mr. Emil Škoda. In 1923 we registered the trademark, which is now the more valuable trademark in the Czech Republic. The company has several sites, production sites in Czech Republic, but also in Russia and in China. And here are some statistical information showing that we have more than 4,000 employees. Among that is 700 engineers. We spent more than 100 million euro during the last 3 years for research and development. And we have very important position on market of producer of rolling stock in Middle Europe. We have references in 4 continents in 23 countries, and we delivered more than 6,000 electric locomotives, 465 metros, more than 350 low-floor trams, and 120 suburban trains. Unfortunately, we don't have any references up to now from Saudi Arabia, but I believe that it will be changed very soon. Regarding our products, we are one of the biggest supplier of low-floor trams. You can see our products from Hungarian city of Miskolc, from Czech Republic, where we are delivering one of the biggest project in a rolling stock history, which means the supply of 250 low-floor trams for city of Prague. You can see also our tram for Italian city of Cagliari. And I would like to also mention that we are working with famous designers which are working together with us. And for example, that tram has been designed by company Porsche. We are also a producer of metro, where we have very big project in Czech Republic and also project in St. Petersburg. We are producer of suburban and regional trains, where we have references from Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, and Lithuania. And we are producer of 3-system locomotives, which is one of the most modern locomotives on the world, and received as the second example all certification of TSI, which is very specific norms of transoperability in Europe. You can see some pictures of our trams from Czech Republic, from United States, from Italy, from Cagliari, from Wrocław in Poland, from Prague, from Miskolc, and Konya. You can see also our suburban trains in Slovakia, and our latest project, which is delivery of push-pull train sets, which means locomotives and wagons for Deutsche Bahn Regio. The project is called NIM Express, which means Nuremberg München Express. One of our daughter company is Škoda Electric, which is the biggest producer of trolleybuses in Europe. But besides trolleybuses, Škoda Electric is producing also electrobuses and hybrid buses. Škoda Electric is producer of propulsion system as well, and you can see some products of Škoda Electric, which is mainly traction motors and traction inverters, and top customers of Škoda Electric. So you can see here also Korean company Rotem, French Alstom, Canadian Bombardier, US General Electric, and also Chinese companies CNR and CSR. Škoda has all possible certification for quality regarding also environment, work safety, and IRIS certificate. That this IRIS certificate is specific certificate for suppliers of rolling stock. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and in case that anyone from you is interested to work with us or will have any specific question, I'm of course available for any discussion. Thank you very much. I'm in time, you see.
Like Škoda engines, on time. Very good, thanks. Now the last speaker of this panel is going to present us a legal side of things. Mr. Jakub Joska, law attorney and managing partner from K&F Legal.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Jakub Joska. I'm a partner of K&F Legal, responsible for financial law and capital markets. And I would like to talk to you about financial market, especially about funds of qualified investors in the Czech Republic. I'm very happy about the speech of my colleague, and I would like to say a few words about the Czech system. My presentation is divided into three parts: description, examples, and benefits. And it should take only 8 minutes. Nevertheless, please don't hesitate to interrupt me and ask me for any question. Before I will start, I would like to ask you for a question. Do you know about which global firm already opened the fund in the Czech Republic and within a couple of years plan to invest more than 2 billion euros? Okay, doesn't matter. Stay with us and I will say the answer at the end of my presentation. What is the Fund of Qualified Investors? It is the investment fund which is dedicated only to qualified investors, which is, let's say, financial institution or any entity, physical as well as natural person, which is able to invest more than 125,000 euro. This kind of fund is more flexible of investment fund, which enables to use, let's say, lower restriction concerning any legal requirements, especially due to lower requirements for risk diversity, lower requirements for asset management, as well as or on other side, wider possibilities of legal forms or wider possibilities concerning the assets which could be obtained to the fund. Nevertheless, QIF can only keep the assets, not to operate or to produce any products. In Czech Republic, we know funds of qualified investors for almost 7 years. For this 7 years, the sector was highly developed, and when we started 2007, we have only a couple of funds. In the 2008, we have about 20 funds which dispose with the assets more than, let's say, €500 million. After 5 years, we have more than 120 funds which dispose with more than €3 billion of the assets. What do you think? What is the reason? It is due to benefits. And what benefit is attached to the QIF? The first benefits which I would like to mention is the security for the investors, because any investors want to secure his investment. QIF provides to investors two separate ways of security. The first one is provided by the private entities, and it is the depository bank, which have to keep any fund's assets, and also a fund manager or administrator, which has to fulfill all legal obligations concerning to the regulator. And that's the second way, is the state line, which is secured by Czech National Bank, which is the respective authority who supervise any financial institution, including funds of qualified investors. Second benefit is also very important, and it concerns the wide possibilities of the legal form. QIF utilize wide number of legal form, including joint stock company, limited liability company, but also can be set up as a legal form which is not allowed to the common legal entities. QIF could be set up, for example, as a joint stock company with a very big capital. It's maybe you know SICAV from Luxembourg structure, or limited liability partnership issuing the shares. Both these legal forms are not allowed to common corporate without QIF. Last but not least is the tax benefits. QIF is under zero taxation starting January the 5th, at this moment 5%, but starting January the 1st, it would be the zero of income tax. It doesn't matter that the QIFs are not under further taxation, but the income tax is 0%. Maybe some interesting examples. Despite that majority of QIF is focused on real estate, we know the QIF focus on stocks, on arts, on investment wines, or, for example, also the project where we participated is focused on electricity device, especially on solar panels. And I have to say my answer on this on the question. Do you know someone already the right answer? I can maybe a little. Okay, it is the Catholic Church. Catholic Church opened the QIF and planned to invest within next couple of years huge assets which obtained from restitution in the form of funds of qualified investors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention, and I'm happy for your potential further information or question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very insightful presentation. I would like to thank all the panelists that were with me on this session for their valuable contribution and